So this week we have been working on our action file. This file right here to store all of your mail and incoming papers. Those to-do papers too, right? I call them the active papers. So we're continuing that today, and today we will talk about where to place your action file so that you have the best chance of it being successful and, the most important thing, easy, right? So as you hop on, say hello in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're joining me from. Really quickly, I see Alice is here. Welcome, Alice, and CJ, and hi, Dottie. Glad to have you each here. Awesome. All right, if you're not already familiar with it, the Incoming Papers Challenge is a free challenge happening March 20th through 26th. And if you want to register for the challenge, or if you missed anything at all during this challenge, any live videos, there's the replays. If you want to see the schedule for when the lives are happening, everything and all the links are on the challenge schedule page. So check out the challenge schedule page, save this. It's your one-stop shop for the whole challenge. And just a reminder, tomorrow, our live session will not be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's actually at 11 a.m. Eastern time, the same time as our usual Thursday talks. And then Friday, we go back to 1 p.m. Eastern. All right. And if you've not already signed up for text message reminders for the action file challenge or the incoming paper challenge to build your action file, then feel free, sign up. This information is also on the challenge schedule page. But sign up for those text messages if you want your reminders. Okay, really quickly, I wanted to say hi in the chat. We've got Facebook from Texas. Hello. Hi, Connie. Kazia's here. Welcome, Kazia and Mary. Nice to see you, Kristen and Joyce and Vicky. And I see Paula's here. She says, so glad to continue my organization. Yes, 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 yes. All the yeses. Okay, so just to recap, the purpose of the action file. The action file is one place, only one place, this small file that can handle every incoming paper and to-do paper, active paper in your house, right? So the reason it's called an action file, instead of labeling the files by the paper type, we are labeling the files based on the next action that's needed, right? What is the first thing that you need to do with this paper? And it goes in that action. Now, this is temporary storage, though. So when your papers come in, they go into the action file until they are no longer active papers, meaning you don't have any more actions that you need to take with those papers, right? Also, once all of the actions are finished, there's only two ways out of the action file. It either gets filed because you have to keep the paper, for a longer term, or it gets purged, whether it's recycled, shred, burn, trash, it just goes away, right? So those are the two ways to get out of the action file. So this is just a temporary place for all of your active papers, something that has an action. And so it handles absolutely every paper that comes in. Let me know in the comments really quickly before we go on to where to place your action file. Tell me what color your action file is or the folders in it. As you can see, my example action file is a light blue and rose gold. And I have that in the supplies. If you like that holder or those folders, you can check them out in the supplies through the My Favorite Things shop on the challenge schedule page. I also have a different version behind my microphone. There we go. A different version on the wall that's kind of a pink and gold. And I really like that one too. That's one that I use for specific uses. It's not one that I use as an action file, but that's a style that could be. All right. So as you tell me what color your action file is, let's talk about the requirements that you need to think of for placing your action file. Now, this is only effective if it's extremely easy to use. And by extremely easy, I mean you don't need to go upstairs. You don't need to take a lid off of it. You don't need to go out of your way to get to it. If it's not in your current path or a very easy location, then you're probably not going to use it, especially at the beginning, because at the beginning, you're still learning these new ways of filing your incoming papers, right? So it's not automatic yet. So when you first start out, this should be as easy as humanly possible. If it was not a safety hazard, I'd say put it on the floor in front of your front door, but that would be a trip hazard. So don't do that. But you need it to be as easy as possible so you can not only get papers into it when they come into the home, but also so you remember to check it and get the papers out of it, to do the actions with the papers, right? So when we are thinking about where to place your action file, one of the options would be an easy access place along the path that you take into the house with your mail. So if you normally check the mail and come in through the front door and go to the kitchen, then somewhere between the front door and the kitchen would be the best place to put your action file. If you normally come through the garage, through the laundry room, then in the garage or the laundry room are going to be the best place to put your action file. Whether it's mounted on a wall or placed on a small table, it doesn't matter. This is a small file. Remember, we're doing 10 folders or less in this file, so it should not be big. But just make sure that it's along a path that you're already taking, where you're already walking, so you don't have to go out of your way. Now, the other option is placing it where you're already normally dropping your mail. So let's work with the habit that you already have, right? It's easier to change habits if you work with what you're already doing and take those small steps. So if you normally drop your mail on the kitchen counter, right in the middle of the kitchen counter, put your action file right in the middle of the kitchen counter. If you normally drop your mail on the dining room table, put your action file at the spot that you normally drop your mail the easiest on that dining room table, right? The reason you want to do it in the middle, or where you put your mail exactly, is if you put it on the kitchen counter out of the way, if it's not a habit yet, then you won't notice it and you'll forget. So just until this becomes a habit, so maybe a month, probably less, because it's a pretty fast habit to pick up if you're consistent with it. Or if you've fallen out of the habit of using it and you want to get back into the habit, place it right in the middle where you cannot help but see it, right? So you want to make sure that it is right in the middle, at least until that habit is formed. Once the habit's formed, you can put it off to the side of the kitchen counter against the wall or something, or somewhere else in your dining room, somewhere that's still extremely easy to access, still goes with the habit of being in that room and placing your mail in that room, but it does not necessarily have to be right in the center where it would look awkward. Now you want to avoid making it hard to get to. So don't keep it upstairs, because like in a home office upstairs or something, it'll be harder to get the papers to it and get the papers back out of it. And remember, don't keep it in somewhere like a back office. Don't put a lid on it, at least not while, you could have a lid for it to put on it when there's visitors around. But when you're using it just for yourself and nobody else is around, if it has a lid, take that lid off. Just keep the lid underneath or nearby. All right. And speaking of all of these papers and making things easy, just a reminder and the official announcement, enrollment is officially open for the Paper Path course and Path membership. Now it's only open until March 30th. So that's next week. It's only open until next week. So if you do want to join the Paper Path course, now the Paper Path course, just as a reminder, our pyramid? Well, the Paper Path course takes you through every single step of this pyramid. So you have everything that you need in order to get to that lasting paper freedom. It will show you how to build your own emergency medical folder and important life papers. It'll show you how to organize your files for your personality type and talk about different special papers. And then the Path membership is just the help to get you there, right? So we help you reach that finish line that you're going for. So that is open, like I mentioned, March 22nd through the 30th only. And there's a bonus right now through Tuesday. So if you grab it before Tuesday night, you get the welcome party so that you can get a really fast track start to your Paper Path course. I'll walk you through the different parts of your course and make sure that you're all set for success. And if you also sign up for the Path membership before Tuesday, then you will get 1 free month of your Path membership. So make sure, check that out if you do want to take your papers to the next level and know where all these 2 file papers are going to go, basically, right? All right, so before we head over to some placement questions to ask to make those decisions on placement easier for you, I wanted to hop into the comments really quickly. I know that I'd asked you what color was your action file, and I hope I don't miss anybody. We have on Facebook, she says it's orange. And on Facebook, Brenda says, I'm on Facebook, not sure if you can see who I am or not. Sure, seems to only show up on YouTube. And yes, if you are on Facebook, then you have to actually give it permission to show what your name and your profile picture are. So in the video description, you'll see there's a little link you have to click to say, yeah, you can show my profile picture and name. So, but I'm glad that you're here, Brenda. Dottie says hers is a black case with manila folders. Love it. CJ's is red and black. You can't miss that, right? Hello, Lori. She says hers is a black action file with olive hanging folders and manila file folders. We got a lot of black going on. Vicky has orange and black. On Facebook, hers is white and her folders are orange and manila. Oh, patterned, navy, pink, and red. That's super fun. Sarah has the rose gold basket with teal folders also. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Mary's just arrived. She says clear plastic. That's good. You'll be able to see what's in it, right? Diana's is gray with navy and cream hanging files. I bet that's really pretty. And Donna just ordered a gold file basket and fancy marbled multicolored hanging file folders. She says she can't wait to start using them. It'll be a few steps from her front door on her desk in the family room. I love that. Oh, Mary's daughter is with us. I'm reading through some of these comments really quickly instead of out loud, but this is awesome. You guys have such great taste. I love it. I love it. Linda's is gray and black. And the other Linda, or no, the same Linda, gray and black with colorful floral folders. I love it. Perfect. You guys are doing awesome with that. I love that you've got your action folders set up already. Now let's find a place for it. So here are some questions that you can ask in order to find a place for your action file. Ask yourself, where do I or others usually come in with the mail? Where do I or others usually come in with the mail? Or where do I or others currently put the mail and papers when you first bring them in? Where's your natural spot to just drop those papers? So some ideas, like we mentioned, entrance from the garage, maybe in the laundry room if you go through the laundry room, the front door entryway if you have maybe a small table or you attach it to the wall near your front door, kitchen countertop and dining room table. Those are usually the hot spots for dropping papers. If you have to walk down a hallway or a walkway that's wide enough for a small table or to mount it on the wall, that's an option. So hopefully this has given you some good ideas of where to put your action file. I see that Renee is going to put hers on the kitchen counter. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice. I love it. I love it. She says, for the person who has a pink and blue action file, where did you get that from, please? Yeah, share in the comments. Let each other know where you guys got your action files from. I love it. So we're going to do a recap, all right? But before we do that, I wanted to remind you, tomorrow's live, remember, is at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we are talking about how to use your action file. So we'll talk about the specific folders, how to move papers between the folders, how it fits into your full paper system. So as far as the action file goes, what happens after the action file, right? What other parts should you have of your paper system? We're just going to go into making sure that this action file is part of an efficient flow of your papers, because we don't want them to go in there and stop. We want to know what our flow is, right? So that is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And Denise is putting hers in the living room. She says, action file is on my side table. Awesome. And on Facebook, a very small apartment and the action file is on the desk in her living room. Fantastic. I love it. You guys are rocking this. All right, so let's do the recap really quickly, and then I will tell you about our fun free event on Saturday that you can sign up for if you're interested. But let's recap first. So we talked about, we remember the purpose of the action file. It's temporary storage just while your papers still have an action needed, right? So they live in the action file until all the actions needed are done and they have to get filed or purged, right? Then we talked about where to place them. So you want to place them either on an easy to access area along the path that you walk in with your mail and papers, or where you would normally drop your mail and papers, kitchen counter, dining room table, wherever that habit already is. So let's work with the habits we've got. Then we talked about questions to ask to help you with deciding some of these things. So ask yourself, where do I or others usually come in with the mail? And where do I or others currently put the mail and papers, right? And then I gave you a few ideas for placement, and then we wrapped it up. This is a super easy day, right? A fast one. Okay, so that was our recap. I promised to tell you about the free event this Saturday. This Saturday, we have a public group hike. Now, if you're a Path member, let me know in the comments if you're a Path member and if you've been on our group hikes or not, and if you enjoy them. I'd love to hear what you think as a Path member of those group hikes. And tell others why they should join the group hikes. Encourage others, what's the point of the group hike for you? How does it help you? So Saturday at 1 p.m., I believe. No, 12 p.m. There we go. 12 p.m. Eastern time until 2. You don't have to stay the whole time. You don't have to get there right on time, but we're doing a public group hike. Now, a group hike, like my Path members who are here can tell you, is a chance where we all hop on Zoom together and we work side by side on anything productive. I've had people work on everything from going through paper path steps and filling in their Spark Life binder, checking their action file folders and going through some of those actions, to making dinner or painting their nails. Anything that's productive is absolutely perfect for the group hike. So we do little work sprints. We'll do like a 20-minute sprint where I put on music and we're focused. And then we do a break where I will answer questions, share some tips, and we keep doing like that for 2 hours. And by the end of 2 hours, you will be amazed at how much you've gotten done. So it's a perfect chance if you've not built your action file yet, if you're catching up over the weekend, or if you have any questions, you need some extra motivation on any project that you want, including the action file, this is the chance for you. So on the challenge schedule page, I know I always lead you to the challenge schedule page. That is where you can register for this group hike. If you're a Path member, you don't need to register. You're automatically going to get your normal invite, and your normal link will work. But if you're not a Path member yet, then make sure to register. So Mary says she's a Path member and she loves the group hikes. She gets more done when she's in that group. Yay! Mary does a whole lot of the group hikes. I love seeing your face there. Diana says she's a Path member, and CJ says the group hike helped me focus on my emergency medical folder and get it completed. Yay. She says, so important. Love it. Kristen says, I loved when I've done the hike with my mom. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, I've seen Kristen there too with their mom. Joanna says, Path member who loves group hikes. They motivate me to focus and get stuff done. So as you can see, these various members, they love the hikes. I'm giving you a chance to check them out for yourself for free this Saturday. Make sure to register over at the challenge schedule page. Like Lori says, love the group hikes. Sometimes I have a task to do until the group hike, so I have a scheduled time to do it. Other times I cook breakfast and do dishes and enjoy hearing Susanna's tips. I love that. Yes, Lori will do anything productive during those hikes, and sometimes she uses them to get her energy up and her motivation going with some of the basics, like the dishes and cooking, and then she's got her energy high. So after the group hike, she might work on something more focused. Whatever works for you, right? I love it. All right. Well, that wraps up today. Make sure to head over to the challenge schedule page, register for the public group hike. It only happens like twice a year now for that public group hike. So take your chance, check it out, see if it's something that you're interested in. It's one of the Path member benefits that we normally have. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m., if not sooner. I love you so much. And like my shirt says, you've got this. Bye, beautiful. I love you.